Coming up next, Eesh and I are hopping into the RIM segment where we're going to unpack our own explicit moments on our mental wellness journey. This is a conversation that you do not want to miss. Don't go anywhere. Instead, like this video, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification button so that you can be up to date on all of our latest uploads. Don't sleep. Guys, thanks for clicking on our video. You are now watching the RIM segment where we relive explicit moments and unpack impactful parts of our journey. Today, being the beginning of the month of May, we're hopping right into Mental Health Month, and we're going to dissect and check in with each other on our own mental wellness journeys. So without further ado, Queen, check in. How you doing?
You first.
Oh,
you
man.
first, because you not gonna do that to me today. So you first, Queen, check in. How have you been? What's been going on?
Oh, man.
I want to know.
2022 has been quite an eventful year for it to just be month 5. And I'm not going to say it's been a bad year. And honestly, after I've survived 2016, which I once would say was like the hardest year, the worst year of my life, I know that I can accomplish and overcome and, maintain through anything, because 2016 was tough, but it was not the worst year of my life. Instead, it was a character building period. And I think that I'm in a character building period as well. Not as bad as it was in 2016, nowhere near, but the shit is real. And so my mental health has been, it's been on and off this year. It's been a challenge. It's been a struggle. I've been faced with a lot of things. I think at the beginning of the year, my confidence was questioned, and and then I transitioned towards month 3. For those that don't know, I've finally gotten a chance to speak about this in my friend groups, but I haven't had a chance to bring it to our platform here. I was actually released from my job, my dream job, quote unquote, this year in the month of March. And I know that it's going to shape up to be like the best blessing for me, but honestly, that has really put me in a different space. It's like I prayed for this opportunity. I left a reliable and stable career that I had carved out for myself, 5.5 years in the classroom, to follow my dreams, to take a step towards my dreams, to put myself back into an industry that I was seeking experience, exposure, and opportunities from. I know that the goal for you and for me and for a lot of our listeners is to not work for someone else for the rest of our lives. And that's definitely, high on my goal list, on my priority list. However, me being Big Virgo, when I'm operating at my highest functionality, I am like a very strategic planning person. And my plan was to work for another 2.5 years while, raking in the opportunities, the experience, the exposure at someone else's expense, relying on the stability of a nice check, to maintain my lifestyle. And that carpet was pulled out from under me unexpectedly. And that really, 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 really did a doozy on me. It really did. It really did. It really did, because in 2016, when I lost my job, I was still living at home. I was not a parent at the time. Life was completely different. I was also extremely irresponsible, financially, emotionally irresponsible, socially irresponsible. I was a different person then. This time, I was a lot better prepared in those tangible things, but the circumstances were different. I'm a grown-ass woman at 2022. I'm a parent. I'm responsible for a household. I don't live with my parents, you know, and I've grown accustomed to a very specific and certain type of lifestyle, in addition to my entrepreneurial journey as well. I relied on the stability of my job to finance my lifestyle for myself and my daughter, and when in need, to finance, you know, our business.
Yeah.
And having that removed from me, like, it's so crazy how we associate ourselves, our self-worth sometimes to, like, even like our occupation or what we can, like, contribute. And this time period has been like a real interesting cluster for myself, you know, in adjusting to that. And it's been difficult, and it's really been difficult. It's really been difficult. It's really been at times difficult to maintain optimistic. It's been difficult at times to hold on to God's promises for me. It's been difficult to, you know, to even, like, find a place of acceptance, you know, with some not nice thoughts about my former employer, you know, and the type of environment that I was working in. The same opportunity that I had prayed for and fasted for, you know, for that to turn out the way it did. It wasn't exactly what I expected it to be. I mean, I got great experience, great opportunities, great exposure, but you got to be real specific for what you ask for, you know?
So how did all of that affect your mental health?
Oh, it's been some dark days. Like, I know that I struggle with anxiety. Since moving out of my parents' house, I've really had a chance to, like, master my anxiety. I up until this point, I had learned and understood my triggers, and my triggers are things that I can't necessarily control, which is pretty much everything, because, you know, we can't control much. But me, big Virgo over here, you know, I can definitely control my income. I can definitely control, you know, the choices that I make and things like that when, you know, when I have the means and the resources to do so. And now I don't have that cushion. I don't have that. So it's really been okay, you know, like, I'm a Christian. I believe in God as my higher power, my being, and I know that he has the final say, right? But it's really crazy how we operate, you know, in spirit and in the flesh. And we know that God has control over everything, but in the flesh, like in the worldly world, like we garner so much of what happens to us based on what we do or on what we contribute. So being in a space where I literally am operating and relying on faith, and I don't have the controls or the influence that I once had, it's been difficult on me. And sometimes I sleep too much during the day because I just don't have the energy. I'm understanding and realizing new triggers. Sometimes I'm not the optimistic person that I usually am, because there's just so much uncertainty, and it's conflicting. You know?
Okay, that's interesting.
Sleep. Log on to eShop and Drop store right now to check out our new Nightmare Radio Show merch. Grab a Drake-inspired t-shirt while supplies last, and use our discount code Nightmare Madness for $20 off any 2 items.
To know. That's interesting to know. Yeah, very interesting to know, Brittany, and it makes a lot of sense. But I'm gonna say that well, I'm going to say that for the end. But for me, recently, I know I came in here and shared that I was fired from my job in December, but y'all don't listen to the show, and y'all just be thinking that y'all know everything. And that's just that on that part. But of course, I was let go from my job in December. Before then, I would say that I know that I had, like, started seeing, like, signs of anxiety when I was working with a specific person before I got back into the corporate world. I'm not going to say who it was, but y'all probably would know if you know who I am. But just like she was always, like, high demand and last minute, right? So with me being an executive assistant, I was always the person that had to do those things. And I'm a type of person, as you know, like, I like to be prepared for these types, you know, for things. And that is what like kind of like triggered my anxiety a lot. Like you said, when things don't go right, those are some things that have, that have triggered my anxiety. But I know that for the past at least 2 to 3 months, like I've been struggling with managing my anxiety because I've had so much on my plate. Like the other day I did a reel about, the say my name. Mm-hmm. And that was my attempt at like really trying to put myself out there and start creating content, right? And that was a reel that I saw that I wanted to, recreate. But when I saw and I listed out everything that I do, it just really showed me why I am so overwhelmed, because I'm wearing so many hats and showing up in so many places, and I have to show up as a certain type of person every place that I go. And that has been very overwhelming for me because, especially with managing this business. So for example, Brittany said she's not working, I'm not working, and she has to maintain her household, right? So for me, I'm wanting to really, really, really step into the business of podcasting. I've invested, we've both invested, and I felt like when I lost my job, I was doing so many things for the show. Everything was always about the show. We did the community impact project. We did the live show. We're always doing something with Nightmare Radio, or I'm doing something for my kids. Those were the two things that I was involved in that was taking up that my job was taking up a lot of time for me to like put my full commitment into. Mm-hmm. But with me, like being the person that has been, always stepping up to the plate, always having to show up, always having to be there, always having to connect the dots, always having to do that has been very, very, very overwhelming. These are things that I have put on my plate for myself. I understand that. These are things that I want to do, that I have expressed that I want to do in my life. And I'm going to say that once the fall comes, there's going to be a lot. Some things that are on my plate now are going to be repositioned off of my plate. But my anxiety has been holding me back because I can't be who I know that I am, because I can't operate in my full space, because I don't want to have an anxiety attack. I don't want to, if something goes wrong, then that's a trigger. Like my kids are very triggering. If they don't listen or they do something wrong that I've taught them and showed them not to do, I'm going crazy. I'm going ham. It's up.
It's hard being a gentle parent.
It's hard. It's hard. But especially like even like being very transparent, me and Brittany, it gets frustrating because I know that Brittany is doing other things, taking a nap. This lady just told me she's taking a nap during the day. You know what I'm saying? Hey, sometimes she got to take a nap.
My mental health is like, at sometimes it's so much,
Yeah, it is.
It is a lot on our plate.
It's a lot on our plate, but I can't even show up for this business.
Same.
And I can't show up in this seat if my mental health surrounding this business is not right. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that just messes up the consumer. You guys watching, you guys not gonna get good chemistry. You're not gonna get a good experience if my mental health or my mental wealth surrounding my business and everything that I have going on, that's not gonna translate well. And then what am I in business for at that point? You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So just being very transparent, I have spoken to some of my friends about it, about my anxiety and, how I've been dealing with it. And it's been very, very hard, being overwhelmed and having some things on my, having so much on my plate. But I ultimately just want to be able to show up for the people that I need to show up for. And I think what it is that I probably need to let people show up for themselves. I can't be the person every time. Like it has to be other people. Like it has to be other people have to step up. If I'm at the school, for example, I can't be the only one that want to bring donuts in for Teacher Appreciation Week. You know what I'm saying?
For reminding me. I
can't be the only person, but I'm going to be that person, but I want to be that go-to person, but I don't want to be that go-to person anymore because it's stressing me. It's draining me out because I'm the go-to person everywhere I go. And I've sort of kind of set it up like that, but I didn't set it up like that for me, for everything to be heavily reliant on myself. And that is what has been draining my mental wealth.
Yeah, that's definitely relatable. I remember when I was teaching and I was trying to catch that before it went. Look at that beautiful picture of me and my daughter. I remember when I was teaching and I was being like pulled in every direction because I was like young and new and fresh and everybody and helpful, and I wanted to do a good job and I wanted to create like a personal brand for myself and in that building.
Sleep. Log on to eShop and Drop store right now to check out our new Nightmare Radio Show merch. Grab a Drake-inspired t-shirt while supplies last and use our discount code Nightmare Madness for $20 off any 2 items.
And it quickly backfired on myself. I was pregnant, big pregnant, and administration was like pressuring me and begging me to be the cheerleading coach. And I said, yeah, okay, I'll do it. And then I enrolled in my master's program and, started doing extra stuff. And it had gotten so overwhelming, but I had created this expectancy because I like to be included, okay. You're an only child too. So spending a lot of time as a child, everyone else has siblings and situations like that. I spent a lot of time alone, or I spent a lot of time in extracurricular activities and with my friends. And my parents had me bumping and booming on a Saturday, since like 96.
Right.
I've always been like overly active. I've worked jobs throughout my entire duration of high school, 9th through 12th grade. 12th grade, I think I worked 2 jobs. I've cheered for multiple teams at a time. I've been Ladies of Stevenson president, Skills USA secretary, JAG 8 producer and anchor, morning announcements person, National Honor Society, like you name it, Youth Leadership DeKalb, debutante, Delta Gyms. Like it was excessive at a point, but literally like I was conditioned and trained in that at a very young age. So when it automatically carried over to college, right? Same way in college, I was overly active in multiple organizations, and not just active, but like holding, executive board positions. So I've always been that type of involved. And then of course, after college, like once I got a taste and a realization, a glimpse of what my purpose was, and I literally have been like gung ho and everything that I've done. Remember when the other day we were on the phone and I was like going through the videos and pictures on my phone, trying to clean stuff out. The involvement that has been like instilled in me since I was a young age. And I know that it was intentional because I did not have siblings. So my parents wanted me to like still have that like robust experience. That's like stuck with me. And I tend to like pick up a lot of different things and put on my plate. And then I don't want to complain about it because, the prayer is to eat, right? So then I'm going to complain about a full plate of food.
Right. But at the same time, to your point, and I'm glad you brought up college, because for me, like at one point I had 21, my senior year of school, I had 21 hours of college courses.
Pregnant?
And was pregnant. So it's a familiarity with being overly busy.
All the time.
It's like something that I'm used to doing. But it's just kind of like now that we're older, and I'll never forget this. Someone told me before at my previous job, like, you're doing too much, basically.
Yeah.
You're trying to do too much. But for that specific reason, it was more so like, okay, one of these things are gonna pop. You know what I'm saying? Like if I'm at my job and I'm showing you that I can do this and this, then maybe you should find something else for me to be doing. Hello, people out there in corporate leadership. If you got people that are on your job that's trying to like show you like, hey, I don't like this position, I want to be doing this. Leadership, reach back, pull them up and pull them to where they want to be. But them people at that job, they didn't give a fuck about that. The only thing that they cared about was to be doing good at one thing. Now they do say a jack of all trades is a master of none.
But finish the statement though.
But it's better than being a master of none. Right?
Something like that.
Something like that. But at the same time, you have to be able to focus on one thing at a time. But I don't know if me being focused on too many things at different times, that's not what's overwhelming me. I can't say that that's what's overwhelming me. Me being involved in different things at one time, that's not what's overwhelming me, because I have great time management skills. You know, I feel like I put a lot of time in, or I can block the times out for different things. Like, I've been working with a lot of different people while working on this. And then and also telling, because on Facebook I had a rant this week and somebody was like, well, they don't need judgment from the non-trajectory job gallery of parents. Well, poo, I've been working the job and doing this at the same time. So that means I'm making it look easy. Right? Or it seems like, you don't really know. But I don't know. It's just the anxiety part for me is just always having to be that person that
you don't have to be the boss of everything that you do.
It's not even about being the boss, because being a boss, I don't even like being a boss. No, it's like a leader. But just because I am involved with something doesn't mean that I have to do everything in that thing. You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
So I can't do everything here. I can't do everything with football. I can't do everything at the school. I just can't do everything. Now, I feel like I've put myself in a place where people can rely on me. And now it's like, okay, well, since Aisha is reliable, I know she can get this done. And now it's like, okay, well, I got to get things done for everything where I'm sitting. And it's like,
for everybody else,
give a bitch some help. I need to also carve out time personally for me, because as I'm looking at all this stuff, it's like, okay, if you think about it, like, when people say, what is Nightmare Radio? Who is Nightmare Radio? People don't know what it is, because I haven't even put myself first.
Talking about the brand of us, like our story and stuff.
Yeah.
And side note, because the people that be saying that don't even
No, don't go there. Don't go there.
The people that be saying that are people that just see us on Instagram and don't listen to the show. And if you just watching us on Instagram, but you got an opinion about the podcast, but you ain't actually listened to, streamed, watched the podcast, and keep that shit to yourself, period.
Yes, period. I think we addressed that before in a non-indirect kind of way, and you just kind of went back. But listen.
I'm sorry.
Sleep. Log on to Eesh and Drop store right now to check out our new Nightmare Radio Show merch. Grab a Drake-inspired t-shirt while supplies last and use our discount code Nightmare Madness for $20 off any 2 items.
What I'm trying to say is, like, what is my brand story? You know what I'm saying?
What is
my
yours?
brand? And what people don't know is that, like, I've put my brand first. I've never really been the person to where I've been personable to where
the face of your brand.
No, I have never been the face of my brand. People don't know what I do. People don't know what I'm doing on a day-to-day basis. But the only thing they see is my brand.
But why? But I want to, because I've always been in a position where, even before Nightmare Radio Show, I was my brand. So I had to be, the person at the front. But why don't you? I know that you put the brand first, which is important, and I think that we do that, and it's necessary. But why don't you be yourself as the brand? Like, why is that not the default for you to show up as, instead of Nightmare Radio Show, it's Eesh the Exec from Nightmare Radio Show?
Because the brand in the beginning was never built for me. The brand was always built to help other people. It has never been about me, but I have not showcased the fact that I am the person that is helping all of these people. If you go back to when we started Dream in Tuscaloosa, we were throwing parties. We had party promoters. We were paying these people to promote. They would promote the parties. They sell tickets. You sell a certain amount of tickets, you get cashed out. We had a whole fallout with our team because they felt like we was taking more money than we was paying them out. And that wasn't the case. We was literally paying people out and not having the money. Then we transitioned into managing artists, managing people, putting people on, putting people's mixtapes on. You see what I'm saying? Where have I ever fit in that? I have never been a factor in my own business. So how can I even people
make
don't
that transition.
People don't know that though. People don't know that we had dream because we want to turn people's dreams into reality, and that a nightmare is a form of a dream, and it's the baddest dream. We had nightmare projects. We wanted to be putting out the baddest and dopest projects, and now we have nightmare radio because if your dreams don't scare you, they aren't big enough. It's tying everything together, but people don't know that because they don't know what I've done, but they don't know.
They don't know that because you haven't said it,
and
I haven't put. But since 2020, you've had the chance to do it.
You're right.
You've had the chance.
I don't, because I don't trust y'all folks. I don't trust people. I've been hurt so many times, and that's another thing. I've been hurt so many times from so many people. I've had so many failed friendships. I've had so many failed things happening to me, and it's like now, even with this anxiety now, that's why it's like, okay, I don't want to be goddamn spazzing out on you or spazzing out, period, because then what is that going to do for me? How am I don't want to jeopardize my friendship with Brittany because I'm overwhelmed. How I'm going to win if I'm not right within?
Oh, come on, Lauren, L Boogie.
You know what I'm saying?
No, but that's
so I have not been in a place to where I want to put myself out there and say, okay, yes, this is Eesh the Exec. This is who I am. Y'all fuck with me. But now recently, now that I've had a chance to talk to you or talk to my friends and tell them like, this is what I've been dealing with. This is how I feel. This is what I've been going through. Now it's been easier for me to like showcase my day-to-day life and be open, and it's been easier. But y'all, people have really hurt me. And I don't even want to give people a chance to have anything to say about me or give people an inside look onto anything that I have going on, because people have hurt me. And when I have opened myself up to people before in the past, they have not been able to support me in my mental health journey, and when I've been dealing with
oh my gosh.
And it really hurts.
Can I give you a hug?
I extend to myself.
Come on.
I'm sorry, I didn't want to cry.
I know.
That is true.
I know.
I'm sorry. But that's real. Like, people have hurt me, and I can't. I've literally like just been
Sleep. Log on to Eesh Shop and Drop store right now to check out our new Nightmare Radio Show merch. Grab a Drake-inspired t-shirt while supplies last and use our discount code Nightmare Madness for $20 off any 2 items.
Anyway,
you know what I be having to say about those people, because they was the wrong people from the jump.
and when you go to like last night, and you see like Ayana got all these friends that care about her, show up for her. And I'm not saying that I don't have those people, because I do have those people, but the people that I was trying to make those people have hurt me. And it's hard for me to open up and be myself when I have tried to open up and be myself, and when I have tried to, bring people in to where I am, it hasn't been reciprocated the same as what I give out. And so here we are. Y'all got tears out of me, and this what y'all want. Y'all know what I'm saying? Y'all want a bitch to be snotting and crying and eyelashes flying and concealer slipping. That's what y'all want to see. All right? That's what y'all want to see. That's what y'all got today. But people have hurt me, and that's why I don't open up. That's why I don't show my real self, because I protect myself and I protect my family by keeping it to the people who care. But I feel like now with this journey of, okay, how you gonna win if you're not right within, right? Like, I've come to the realization of, okay, now I know how I'm gonna do it. Like, I know how I'm gonna put myself on. If I can have ideas for everybody else, if I can manage other people, then I can implement that shit for myself.
Yes.
So
and lean
I
into
think
the people that have not hurt you, that do love you, because we here.
And that's why I don't want to hurt you.
You about to, hold on. Let me not. Okay.
I can't let my anxiety drive people out of my life. You know what I'm saying? So I have to be able to effectively communicate to people with what I'm going through and what I have going on.
Oh, shoot.
It's time to go.
I know.
Thank y'all so much for tuning in
Oh,
to
no.
our TED Talk.
You know, I wanted to end with this little message.
Go ahead.
It went a totally different way, but it's still applicable.
Okay.
Be proud of how you've been handling these past few months. You fought moments that you've had to humble yourself, the times that you've wiped your own tears. You have to celebrate your strength.
But has my strength been a mask?
I have to ask myself that, because even in the same way, like I haven't even been able. I saw my closest friends for the first time in a long time in these past 2 weeks.
I hate that.
And last week, but have I been hiding my own self? Have I been hiding behind the vision, the supposed expectation of strength, so that, damn, I don't know. I'm still working on some things within my own self. You know, I think that we all are. Imposter syndrome is a real thing, because now I granted I haven't been hurt like in the ways that you've been hurt, but I've always had to mask my true feelings and struggles, because in my friend groups, I'm always the strong person too. I'm always the dependable, the reliable person, the one that figures out a way to get out the mud or make someone else smile or to pour into someone. And so when I'm empty, I'm not going to say that, because that's unfair for those that do pour. But, you know, the stream of the water is a little bit different. So, you know, I hide behind the strength. That's why I'll be taking a nap, because I ain't got it. You know, I guess are we hiding behind our strength? Are we hiding behind the facade of having it all together? Because I know for sure sometimes I definitely be hot. People think that Brittany always going to have it together.
Well, I hope I'm not putting out don't get it twisted. A bitch got it together for the most part. It's some parts that I can fine tune, but I be having it together. But mentally, do I have it together? That's the part that people don't check on. And that's with anybody.
And that's what we got to focus on this month and beyond.
Yeah. So join us next one at the end of the month, May 25th, for our More Life, More Wine, More Convos.
Yes.
We will be, damn, you ready to drive off the set, ain't you?
No, I was just checking to see what the
More Life, More Wine, More Convos. May 25th, we are talking about mental health awareness. Get your tickets, get your bottles, get your tables.
Yes.
Tickets are in our bio. You can get your tickets. And hopefully we have some tissue on deck on Wednesday.
Yes.
Because only God knows where the conversation is going to go to. But that has been our show for today. Thank you guys so much for tuning in and being with us on this journey through Mental Health Awareness Month. Thank you, Brittany. I appreciate you.
I love you, Eesh.
Love you too.
I appreciate you too. You have a safe space here with me.
I appreciate that.
And you have a village.
You're right. I know.
And we're not trying to hurt you. We don't want you to hurt. We don't want none of that. I'm sorry. Y'all, make sure that you guys like this video. Comment underneath if this is relatable to you. Subscribe, share with a friend, and hit the notifications button so that you can be up to date on all of our new uploads.
And leave us a voicemail on Anchor if you're listening.
If you're listening to this in the audio, share it with a friend. Rate us on Apple Pod.
Call me if you got my number.
Right.
Call me.
Check in. All right.
Check in with your friends.
Check in with your friends all month, every day if you can. But anyway, Eesh and Britt are checking out for episode 89. Don't sleep. We love you. Queen, check in.